Good morning, students. Today we are going to continue chapter 1 of biology, that is nutrition in plants. And the topic we are going to discuss is on saprotrophs and how nutrients are replenished in the soil. Saprotrophs. Saprophytes are fluffy, umbrella-like patches growing on rotting wood during rainy season. So, during rainy season, you can see certain fluffy umbrella-like patches growing on the rotting wood, just as that is given in the image. They are called mushrooms. Mushrooms belong to the family of fungi, and fungi are called saprophytes. The plants which use saprotrophic mode of nutrition are called saprophytes. Again, the plants which use saprotrophic mode of nutrition are called saprophytes. And examples of saprophytes are mushrooms. They are not like green plants as they lack chlorophyll and cannot make food by photosynthesis. The mushrooms are growing on the decaying material like decaying wood and on those rich in moisture. Again, mushrooms or the fungi are not like green plants. They lack chlorophyll and cannot make food by photosynthesis. The mushrooms are growing on the decaying material like decaying wood and on those areas which are rich in moisture. In the image, you can see button mushrooms growing on the moisturized region. Have you ever brought bread from the market and found patches of green, brown or any other colors? This is due to the growth of fungi. If you keep a bread piece in a moisturized condition for 2 to 3 days, you can see cotton-like threads spreading on the piece of bread. And these organisms are called fungi. Moving on to the slide, moisten a piece of bread. Leave it in a warm place for 2 to 3 days. Fluffy patches appear on the bread. The patches may be of green, brown or any other color. Observations are cotton-like threads spread on the piece of bread. You can see in the image like certain patches of brown or black colors seem to be appear, and these patches are due to the growth of fungi. This is a microscopic view of fungi growing on bread. The fungi also growing the pickles, leather, clothes and other articles that are kept in humid condition for a long time. These organisms spread by means of spores. In the picture you can see the spores being released by the fungus. The spores are present in the air, and when they get a warm place or moisturized area, they will germinate and they reproduce very fastly and spread very fast. The mushrooms belong to the family called fungi. They have no chlorophyll and they cannot carry out photosynthesis. Then, how do they acquire the nutrients? It's by means of saprotrophic nutrition. Let's watch the video on saprotrophic nutrition.
You might have seen packets of mushrooms sold in it. Besides that, sometimes you may have also seen fluffy umbrella-like patches growing on rooting wood during rainy season. But do you know what these organisms are and how they get their nutrition? Friends, These organisms are commonly called fungi, and they get their nutrition from dead and decaying matter. To get their nutrients from dead and decaying matter, they secrete digestive juice and convert it into a solution. This mode of nutrition, in which organisms take in nutrients in solution from dead and decaying matter, is called saprotrophic nutrition, and organisms which use this kind of mode of nutrition are called saprotrophs. Thus, we can say that fungi are saprotrophs.
So you may be clear about saprotrophic mode of nutrition in saprophytes. The fungi secrete digestive juices on the dead and decaying matter and convert it into a solution. Then they absorb nutrients from it. This mode of nutrition is saprotrophic nutrition. Plants which use saprotrophic mode of nutrition are called saprotrophs. Example of saprotrophs are fungi. Plants which use saprotrophic mode of nutrition are called saprophytes. The saprotrophs secrete certain digestive juices on the dead and decaying matter and convert it into a solution. Then they will be able to absorb the nutrients from it. This mode of nutrition, in which organisms take nutrients in form of solution from dead and decaying matter, is saprophytic nutrition. Symbiotic relationship. Some organisms live together and share the shelter and nutrients. An example is certain fungi live in the roots of trees. So what is the benefit of the trees in allowing the fungi to live in the roots? The tree provides nutrients to the fungus, and in turn fungus help the tree to take up water and nutrients from the soil. This association is very important for the tree. As both tree and fungus is benefited, they are known to be a symbiotic relationship. That is, the tree is benefited from the fungus by helping it to take up water and nutrients from the soil, and the fungus is benefited from the tree by means that it provides nutrients to the fungus. Again, the tree provides nutrients to the fungus, and fungus help the tree to take up water and nutrients from the soil. As both the partners, that is both tree and fungus, are mutually benefited, it is a symbiotic relationship. Let's see another example of symbiotic association, that is lichen. In organism called lichens, a chlorophyll containing partner, which is an algae and a fungus, live together. The fungus provides shelter, water and minerals to the algae. In return, the algae provides food which is prepared by photosynthesis. The algae provides food with the help of photosynthesis, and the fungus provides shelter, water and minerals to the algae. As both algae and fungus are mutually benefited, it is said to be in a symbiotic association. So lichen is a symbiotic association. Have you seen the farmers spreading manures and fertilizers in the field? Do you know why they add these fertilizers and the manures into the soil? The fertilizers and manures possess nutrients like nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus. These nutrients are necessary for the proper growth of plants. The nutrients are added from time to time to enrich the soil. Moving on to the slide. Plants need nutrients like nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus in abundance for the proper growth. Plants cannot absorb nitrogen directly from the atmosphere. The soil microbes convert the atmospheric nitrogen to the absorbable form. Leguminous plants have symbiotic association with nitrogen fixing bacteria, so it does not need addition of nitrogen containing fertilizers. Plants cannot absorb nitrogen as such from the atmosphere. It should be converted by the soil microbes. The leguminous plants have a symbiotic association with nitrogen fixing bacteria like rhizobium in the soil, so it does not need the addition of nitrogen containing fertilizers. Usually, crops require a lot of nitrogen. We have learned that plants cannot absorb atmospheric nitrogen. Then, how can they be made available to the plants? Let's watch it in the video.
Plants also require a lot of nitrogen to make proteins. So they absorb nitrogen continuously from the soil, due to which the amount of nitrogen becomes deficient. As you all know, that there is 78% of nitrogen present in our atmosphere, but plants cannot use it in the manner directly as they can use carbon dioxide. They require nitrogen in soluble form. The bacterium called rhizobium can take atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into a soluble form. These bacteria live in the roots of gram, peas, mung beans, and other legumes and provide them with nitrogen. In return, the plants provide food and shelter to the bacteria. Thus, we can say that rhizobium shows a symbiotic relationship.
Okay, this is how the nutrients are again replenished in the soil or maintained in the soil. Thank you.